We've done these way too early Ryder Cup picks. They're no longer way too early. The picks are going to be made 1 week from today. The points have locked on the American side. There's one more week for the Europeans to earn points, but I'm ready. These are the teams that I'm rolling with. We'll talk next week. I don't know exactly when the announcements are made, but we might be able to discuss those and analyze those live. We'll see what happens, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna make our 12 picks. These are our final picks. These are who would be on my team. It's not necessarily who I think is gonna make the team. This is gonna be who would be on my team, and I'll give you a little bit of information on who I think will make the team. All right, we're gonna do one of the Americans, one of the Europeans. We're gonna alternate. Number 1, Scotty Scheffler. What do I need to say about this guy? The best player on God's green earth. Everything that's left to be said is every question that's been asked has been asked, except for, what are you bad at? On the European side, Rory McIlroy, number 2 to Scotty Scheffler. He's going to be number 2 in the Player of the Year rankings, despite completing the career Grand Slam and winning the Players and winning at Pebble Beach. Finished second in the season-long points race in the regular season, second in the final points race. Strong number 2 in the world, Rory McIlroy. Going back to Team USA, we're going Xander Schauffele. Actually missed the Tour Championship, which is a really bad year for Xander after he won 2 majors, and he said, I playing your hardest and playing bad sucks. He said, some of us do it, some of us don't, which I don't know if that was a shot at some other guys. I'm not sure. But he said, I've been doing it these past couple of weeks, and it stinks. Still had a good major season, made all 4 cuts. I think he was like 3rd or 4th in our cumulative major leaderboard. He's going to be there. Number 2, I'm just going straight down the list of the points for Europe, is Justin Rose. Justin Rose qualified on points, which is a hell of an achievement at his age. We thought maybe that was a one last hurrah for him in Italy. It is not one last hurrah. He's played really well in the Northeast in his career. Obviously won his lone major championship at Philly, which is just down the road. Not just down the road, but not that far from Bethpage Black. Comfortable on those grasses. Obviously won in Memphis, second to Rory McIlroy in the Masters. A great achievement for Justin Rose to make it on points. On the U.S. side, our number 3 is J.J. Spaun, U.S. Open champion. I think that Bethpage and the New York crowds are really going to get behind his sort of everyman story. He's gritty. He's not a country club kid. Played in his first U.S. Open, or first Open Championship rather, this year at the age of 34. So J.J. Spaun is number 3 on Team USA. Another guy who's locked up on Europe is Tommy Fleetwood. Had another top 10 this week, just living inside the top 10. He's going to luck into a win one of these weeks, and it's going to be a week that you don't expect it, where he shoots something crazy low on Sunday. It's going to happen. Tommy Fleetwood will be there. Russell Henley. Despite a pretty poor major season, he's been really consistent, especially in the signature events. Obviously won at Bay Hill early this year. Russell Henley is number 4 on Team USA. Number 4 on Team Europe is Robert McIntyre. That's because he's number 4 in the points. Locked up his spot on points. You know what Bob McIntyre thinks about Bob McIntyre making the Ryder Cup? Let's run it, Andy. Yes, he loves it. He's clapping for himself. Fantastic. That was when he finished second at Oakmont. Wow. He finished second this past week at Caves Valley, and he's just chuffed. He's just chuffed to make the Ryder Cup team. It'll be his second appearance. Bryson DeChambeau has locked up his spot. Won't be playing in Napa, which is on the PGA Tour, but Bryson will be there, and I think he's going to play a lot. I think if there was a major championship at Bethpage, Scotty would be the favorite. Bryson might be number 2. It's just a big, beefy American golf course. He has had plenty of success on those type of setups. Going over to the European side, Tyrell Hatton. Tyrrell's been a consistent performer in the majors. He was also up there in the top 3, I think, of the cumulative major leaderboard. Done a really good job staying up there in the points. Won a DP World Tour event kind of in the off-season to keep himself way up there, and has played great in the majors. Back over to the American side, we're going Harris English. He's locked it up with his play this year. Won in, where'd he win? San Diego, won the Farmers, and then finished second in a couple major championships this year. So that's how you get in on points. Congratulations to Harris English. He's back on the squad. Over to the European team, Sepp Straka. 2 wins this year, including a signature event. Did not play last week at the BMW and did not do very much in the major championships. Sort of the European answer to Russell Henley as far as this year is concerned. Okay, on Team USA side now, these are all captain's picks. Top 6 are locked. Justin Thomas. Now, Justin Thomas has not done much the second half of the year, and there are some people online who say, does he really deserve a spot? He's up there in the points. I think he's 7 in the points. He's a crucial member of this team emotionally. He got picked when he was playing way worse the last time. So Justin Thomas is going to be there, and I still think there's still a month to go, or a month before the Ryder Cup. So you want the guys who are playing well right now, but also what's going to happen in a month? Like, so much can change, and I think you have faith in Justin Thomas to find something before then. Over to the European side, Jon Rahm. Jon Rahm finished way down there in the points because he's playing on Live Golf, but he's your season-long Live champion. Didn't finish worse than 11th in any of their events. Just an absolute shoo-in, probably a guy who's going to play all 5 sessions. Back to the American side, Colin Morawa. kind of in the same category as Justin Thomas. Not a very good second half of the year. It'll be interesting to see who caddies for him in the Ryder Cup. Mark Urbanek has been on the bag recently. He was Tony Finau's ex-caddy. We'll see if that continues moving forward, but I think Colin will be there. A really solid guy that you can play in any format because he hits it so straight. Back to the European side, Shane Lowry, also kind of running out of gas a little bit. He actually had a solid finish at the BMW, but was better earlier in the year. But yeah, as far as emotional leaders on the European side go, I think they all definitely want Shane Lowry there. Ben Griffin on the American side, he's earned it. He's been so solid all year, made it to the Tour Championship for the first time. We got to make sure that we portion out his creatine. We also got to make sure that those sunglasses don't come off the entire week. I think the sunglasses should be on in the opening ceremony. I think they should be on when he's playing, when he's not playing, every interview. I want those. Maybe we get like an American flag version of them and just keep them on all week. On the European side, Ludvig Oberg. They're a scary team. They're so deep. They are so deep. Ludvig, as Rick mentioned there, really starting to round into form. He's playing some really good golf recently. I don't think anyone has any doubts about this guy moving forward. Ludvig Oberg will be there. Keegan Bradley, I think he's going to play. I think something shifted when he won the Travelers. The way he was talking about the Ryder Cup initially was, I don't know if I can do both. It's such a big job. I want to help the team win to, and now it's actually they wanted me to be a playing captain. And, I've seen how capable my vice captains are, and I think I could probably do this. So I think Keegan will pick himself, and I think the other guys want him on the team. On the European side, Victor Hovland, another shoe-in. The Europeans, I think 11 of the 12 are really firmly spoken for. Victor Hovland is the 10th guy over there. On the U.S. side, Sam Burns had a really good U.S. Open, had a really good week this week, and just puts the lights out of it. You need some putting specialists on the team, and Burns and Schauffele are really close. They play a lot of practice rounds together. I can see that being a sort of natural pairing. So Sam Burns makes my team. Matt Fitzpatrick on the European side did not make it to East Lake, but finished the year very, very strong. Had a great stretch over there in the UK, and has been playing well on this side of the pond as well. Has Ryder Cup experience. Not the best Ryder Cup experience. He has not been very good in the Ryder Cup, but I think these 11 on the European side are very, very solid. And then my last pick for Team USA would be Cameron Young. So what I think is going to happen here is I think that Patrick Cantlay is going to make the team. And I think it's going to be one of Sam Burns or Cameron Young. And I think it'll probably be Sam Burns, if I had to guess. I think that Keegan will probably pick Cantlay, despite him not doing anything this year to deserve it. So this would be my team, but I do think that Cantlay is going to make the team, which is going to bump out Cameron Young, if I had to guess. And then I would pick Harry Hall. I mean, it's no disrespect to Rasmus Højgaard, but his solid finishes have come against really, really weak fields comparatively, whereas Harry Hall is rounding into form and made the Tour Championship on the most competitive tour. What do I think will happen? I think they'll go with Rasmus Højgaard. I think that they want someone who plays on the European Tour primarily. He's 8th in the points. He's been a consistent performer, had a lot of high finishes in Europe. So these would be who I would pick, but on Team USA, I think it will be those first 10 plus Patrick Cantlay instead of Cameron Young and Sam Burns. And I think that the European team will probably be Rasmus Højgaard over Harry Hall. But these would be my 12. Ben, what do you think when you read that list?
I love that you're leading with your heart and you're putting Harry Hall in there. I still am not sure about Colin Morawa. I don't know why.
Well, it's been a pretty disappointing year. He's been in the press a lot. It's been sort of like angsty around him. He doesn't know who his caddy is going to be.
And there's some exciting young blood to maybe have that spot too.
Yeah, I mean the other two guys that we should mention who are Chris Gotterup, who made it to East Lake with a strong final round, but I don't think it's been quite as consistent throughout the whole year. It was really a 2-week stretch. And then Brian Harman, who is a dog. It's not the best course fit for him. I think it's going to play really long, but Brian Harman is a guy who has deep respect from his peers. So I could see Harman sneaking in there, but it's going to be very interesting. I think there's 11 out of 12 spots on Team Europe are locked up, and I think really only 9 on the American side are locked up. I think, Keegan's still a question mark. So there's really 3 spots for Keegan Bradley, Sam Burns, Cameron Young, Patrick Cantlay, and like a Gotterup or someone way off. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
I actually think that now Keegan should commit to playing after Rory's comments specifically.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that later in the show. But yeah, those are the Ryder Cup picks. This is the last time we'll be doing it, guys. So next year, I promise you we won't do President's Cup picks every single week like we did Ryder Cup. But this is a Ryder Cup unlike any other. I think everyone's so incredibly excited for this. And it's the speculation is almost over.